Hello there, everyone. It's GleeCon, and we're diving back in. Woo! Here you go. Stay a while and listen. It's another week in World of Warcraft. Our adventures taking us through everything in the game. We are on the Burning Crusade expansion, but since it's another week, and since my book from Japan didn't come through yet, so I still won't be doing my weekly Final Fantasy lore episode this week, we are going to do our weekly attempt at Molten Core. I was hoping one day to maybe get to kill Lord Kazakh, but I don't know if he's real. I know I've seen him in Chromie time, but I haven't seen him not. So anyway, first we're going to go ahead and put on our boots of Booty Bay. Boots of the Bay, and we're gonna take a little fly. Fingers crossed, everyone. Could this week be the week when we finally get Wind Fury, the blessed blade of the Thunder Fury? I mean, the blessed blade of the Wind Seeker. Could this be our week? I don't freaking know, but it would make me happy if that were the case. All right, let's put our shoes back on. Let's go ahead and sell. We gotta have a clear tank. We're going into Molten Core. After this, as you saw, our character was waiting around in Outland. We don't need them there anymore. We just did that to have like a couple quests. In order to open up whatever that thing was. We already have this pet, 3 copies. I also plan, I think I might have that core marksman rifle. Oh yeah, there's my Sulfuron plan. That's cool. I don't even have easy throw dynamite ready. Why do I have all this crap up there? Let's put that, I guess I've just been chilling. I don't need that either. Sitting on a lot of these bad boys. That is also a pet we already have 3 of. Flame Core Wraps. Yeah, probably gonna toss that one. I guess I don't have this core marksman rifle. No, I'm going with coal. Radiant. We've already had plenty of the Radiant set. We don't need that. Wow, this is a lot of gear we're sitting on from last time.
May your feet find good trails.
Thank you, my friend. Alright, so what do we need? We need that other binding from Gar. Frickin' Gar. The bane of my existence. Let's just double check Gar here. Let's look up and see. Gar Warcraft. Let's see. How bad is the drop rate? Is my drop rate as bad as I've looked at 1,000 times? We are at 15,700, so we're going to be almost 17,000 of the 21 rep needed for Exalted. We're getting pretty darn close on this. Molten Core Gar Warcraft Rumble. Whoa, I don't like that I keep doing that by accident. What even is that? I don't even know what Warcraft Rumble is. I think I heard of it. So there is something in the Warcraft universe I should maybe look into. You know, to be fair, I haven't really spent a lot of my life playing on Hearthstone either, because Hearthstone, you know what? Maybe I'm going to start playing Hearthstone again. Maybe I'll play this Warcraft Rumble. I don't freaking know. You know, there's another one I have never gotten into either, which is that Heroes of the Storm, nor the... What's the one that's, like, notorious for being the most nasty community in all of gaming? The Warcraft 3 mod? I always forget the name of that either. League of Legends. There we go. League of Legends, notorious for being full of the biggest douches on Earth. So, no, I haven't been like, that sounds cool. No, I see. It put Warcraft Rumble in there for me. You freaking jerk. I've heard of Warcraft Rumble in the sense that it has popped up on the Blizzard feed. I have never played it, downloaded it, anything. Maybe it's super cool. I don't know. I am out of phone games right now. I just have not... Oh, I did it again. I just haven't really needed to play anything on my phone. I haven't... I've been occupying myself with other activities.
The fabric of which our world is woven is most delicate. It merely takes some knowledge and the application of said knowledge to tear the fabric. It is thusly that rifts are born.
Okay. It is thusly that rifts are born. So saith the boy, the man, the elf. Alright, so what are we on the watch list here? We have 7 Blood of the Mountain. We also have 7 Sulfuron ingots. I believe we need 10 Blood of the Mountain. 1 Sulfuron ingot. We need the Gar binding. So, well, let's see what we find here. Alright, old Gar. Oh, that's classic. We need him on retail. And he drops all kinds of crap, but that's the thing that we want. I mean, he does. Allegedly. We just haven't seen it. There's a piece of ore over there. I'll look at that. That's just chilling. The 79% chance for him to drop a lava core. Isn't that great? We really need more of those. How many do I even have? Fiery core, I have 83. So I guess that's not even that much. Oh no, that's fiery core. Lava core I have 106. Alright, second most thing, the Arcanist Crown. I'm guessing I have that one. Oh, there's not a ore at the top one this time. I'm gonna let them all just cluster all over me. Normally there's an ore to that top. Today, no. Today it's on the bottom. And here's the first room. We're only doing this part for the 200 total rep that we will get in this room. By killing Lucifron. Nothing special. We also have the opportunity here for another ore. Why do we get the ore? Oh geez, you must not have been watching the episode for weeks. Months at this point. Ah, that's exactly why. For that Blood of the Mountain right there, we got one. On this tiny little off chance you get a Blood of the Mountain. That's why we do it, ladies and gents. That's why we do it. So we just came down this path. And that's a good thing that we did. So now we're up to 8 Blood of the Mountain. We need 2 more Blood of the Mountain. As well as 1 more small Sulfuron ingot. Why do we need those things? To make Sulfuron hammer. This hammer requires 8 Sulfuron ingots, as you can see there from the recipe list. 20 Dark Iron bars. We have all of those. 50 Arcanite bars. That one I don't think I have. We'd have to go mining for a while, but really if that came down to it, why would I not do that? Whoa, 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 whoa. Let's walk right off the edge. What else? 10 Blood of the Mountain. 10 Blood of the Mountain. So these destroyers can also drop it. Oh, didn't get it. Okay. Oh my gosh. Alright everybody, buttholes crossed. Fingers crossed it has not been working for us. Gotta take it to the next level. We need something more intense than just crossing fingers, because it's been so long and it hasn't worked. So, clench up, cross everything you can think of. Here we have a couple more. What else do we need to build Sulfuron? 10 lava core, 10 fiery core. Yeah, we're more than fine on all that. Alright, Gehenna's, get a little reputation. Why not? Cool. Okay, now it's just about the ore and the molten destroyers. We've got a lot of molten giants today. It's kind of a weird spawn. Doesn't feel that great. There's really not a lot of molten destroyers in this instance. Oh, only comes from destroyers, not the giants. I see Gar. Come on, Gar. Make my day. Be the change in the world that we all want to see, buddy. Do it for GleeCon. Got giant stalker bracers. We've already had that, man. That is not cool. Nobody cares about that. Couple destroyers. No. Yeah, I think that's the end of the destroyers. So any blood in the mountains we get will have to come from looting these. All right, I'm building up the anticipation. Gar, please give me your bindings. I see them. You wearing them? Let's just give them to me. Ching, 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 ching. Oh no. All right, Gar, come on. Another week. No bindings. Well, that's okay, right, guys? It'll happen one day. I wonder when I did the first one of these. I don't know. We've been at least 15 to 16 weeks. We're probably getting in the ballpark of 20 weeks. So it has been 3 to 4 months that we've been trying to get it to drop. So just as a reference, now as a, that's not crazy. It has a 3% drop rate. So in all reality, the expected value is 30-something weeks. And that's if you don't have bad RNG. Like, it could easily take you a year to get it. I think what really spoiled us was we got Baron Geddons after like 3 weeks or something. So, I mean, maybe it was a little bit more than that. But every week is a little bit closer to getting exalted on these bad boys. So after this, we're going to be about somewhere around a month from now. So I'm about a month away from getting exalted here. And that's an achievement. Exalted with the Hydraxian Waterlords. I've never done that on any account. And even though it's obviously significantly easier than running this raid once a week with the homies back in the day, it's still something, right? So, there we go. I guess if push comes to shove, I might start working on it, not anytime soon, but at some point in my life, I might start working on it as a, like a more difficult, not more difficult, like just start doing it on an alt as well. So if I happen to ever start running it on an alt, just off camera, and then the alt ends up having RNG, like if we go a year or whatever and it still hasn't dropped, then I will put that one on camera instead, and we can ditch this if it ever comes down that far. So yeah. So after this, we're going to just finish the run out so we can get the last little rep. We do have a chance at the last Sulfur and Ingot. At least, unlike most weeks, this wasn't completely pointless. We did get 1 Blood of the Mountain. We're down to needing just 2 of those, so really close. You can buy those. I just, what's cooler, can you link items that you don't have? So every time I see people playing the Thunder Fury game in chat, does that mean that they've done this? And they have gotten the Thunder Fury transmog? Nice. Oh, I did not have the Arcanist belt yet, and that was the final one. Oh, I forgot, you gotta get the other guy first. That was the final one I needed. So I now have the full-on Arcanist regalia. How does that work? Arcanist regalia. So how can we? Oh, I didn't want to do that. Can you filter? No. I kind of wanted to see like what sets. Where was that? This is called Molten Core. So, can I search by Molten Core? Yeah. Oh, I see. It's jumping me to Mage. Why can't it be all? Okay. Let's see what we have here. Do I have it all? It looks like I do. Okay, so I have the warrior. There we go. We have the paladin set. We have the hunter set. Oh, I know I have the night stalker set. It looks not that cool. Okay, I'm missing one. It's a world drop. I'm missing one from the priest set. The burning Death Knight doesn't have one. We are missing one from the shaman set. I just suddenly got curious about this. How close are we to getting that doesn't have one? Everything. One from the druid set. Of course, yeah, those aren't going to have any. Alright, so we're missing 3 total pieces. Because that would be cool, too, to have every single set. Just for funsies. So a priest bracer, and then shoulder druid and shoulder shaman. Alright, this guy does give you more rep than anyone except for Ragnaros. He's also our Sulfuron ingot. Drop rate. No. So. Okay, so this week we got, I guess there's still a couple Blood of the Mountain ore nodes left. And then we're heading back into Zangarmarsh to keep those quests going. Yeah, so I'm still waiting on the old used manga in Japanese to arrive for the Final Fantasy. So if you are really into Final Fantasy, or even pretty into it and want a completionist treatment of Final Fantasy, I have started that project much, much slower, going once a week. We have recently finished Final Fantasy II and talking about the soundtrack to that. Final Fantasy II is where I think they started. We're still in the 1980s, so much older game.
Impossible. Stay your attack, mortals.
Really, one thing, I guess maybe it's the just time period it came out, or I don't know. But one of the things that makes being a lore master of Warcraft so cool is that there is so much lore. Oh man, I missed both those. I'm not going back to them. I don't care. Final Fantasy has always shot itself in the foot by not having a consistent world. Now it does. They might argue that it does things. It's worth it, because while you don't get the investment with the lore building, you also will pretty much never piss anyone off by abusing a beloved character. And you will never be slavishly held to the geography, timeline, anything that has happened in a previous game. It's like a multiverse, basically, is how Final Fantasy runs their lore. So they can, every game, just reinvent themselves, be completely different. Now, there are some bleeding, some crossover, some thematic similarities, concepts like chocobos and jobs and whatever. Spell names, so it's like they've created this persistent universe, but they absolutely do their best to have it both ways. And you wind up with a much weaker lore. All lore then has to be tied into specific expansion or games, or side games or spin-offs, or you know, like Final Fantasy Tactics as part of the Ivalice Chronicles. Or you can take the various different characters from Final Fantasy and throw them into the Kingdom Hearts franchise, because Square owns everything, or you know, owns both IP. And so then you can have characters from Final Fantasy VII interacting with characters from Final Fantasy VIII, and Final Fantasy IX, and Final Fantasy X. Even if they might not otherwise interact at all. But you lose out on the things that WoW has, which is a really cool, really consistent, persistent lore, legacy, characters people are invested in, but we can watch in real time the downside of that, which is you can just mishandle the lore. You're always going to piss people off, especially once you reach a certain point. Like, we're 20-something years into this game. People have, you know, even if you are a Chris Metzen or something like that, and you've been more or less working on it since the beginning.
The Fire Lord.
20... You talked to me 22 years ago or whatever. Like, I was a kid. And since then I have adult children now. So
these mortal infidels,
it's
they have invaded your sanctum and seek to steal your
I'm a completely different, in many ways I'm a different person than I was back then. So that's true of the devs as well. So what they're interested in the messages that they want to put out, and yet what they put out back then appealed to a kid, and a lot of what they put out now appeals to me. So maybe I'm just like Arrested Development or whatever, like I just haven't matured. It's possible. Or maybe it just hit me with that perfect onslaught girdle. I guess we didn't have that one. Cool. Alright. Audi 5 on this one. I'm just going to log out and be right back in. Too soon. What do we hit? 16,800. Yeah, it's like 1,100 every time. So in 2 more, we'll be at 19. So 4, yeah. 4 more runs. And we'll be done. Yikes. I've been disconnected. Okay. We're gonna switch over now to Glee's Edmund, level 47. I am kind of curious what level I'm gonna be when I finish all this. As research, it's gonna be kind of like front loading for the other side research project I've done, where I'm essentially started an account from scratch and I'm working meticulously, way different than what I'm doing, and all off camera. All right, a damp, dark place. That's where we're going right now. But I'm kind of trying to vibe out how many characters can I make, and as part of this, I've made that that list that I told you about. So I have it. I've now started working my way through. I should bring that like on one of my episodes coming up. I should bring my list back here and I can start telling you guys some of what's on it. So I should have really done that because I sometimes use that as a timer, like, oh, when it's done I know I'm at the halfway mark, but I've bunged that all up. Okay, but I can tell you some things that I know. So the goal is to plan 80 characters. One of every spec, and whatever you want to call that. I don't know what the official... I've been calling it sub-spec, but I truly don't know what it's actually referred to as. This, like, for instance, if you want to be a protection warrior, you also can choose at some point, do you want to be a mountain thane little skill tree, or do you want to be a colossus? So I don't know what they call those. Heroic talents, sub-spec, I don't know. And it doesn't really super duper matter. What am I... Where is this dude's belongings? He has them listed at the front, but is that true? What's it say? Left behind a box. So it's a box somewhere? Or else I've botched it. Or else it was out front. There's Plexa. Level 54, mostly harmless. It says it's right here. I don't think that's true, bros. I don't think that's true, my dudes. I think it's listed here. But maybe it's under... I don't know. I don't see it. I don't see no stinking box. I'm going in. Alright, so... The way I've been doing is going by race. So I assigned every single spec and class. So for instance... Okay, I want each class to have an arms warrior. Right? Look, she's been down there killing. So I want each to have an arms warrior. Things are a little dicey. Whoa, I died. Maybe she died too. I think I went down there to help, and maybe they hit harder than I thought. Also, my life was low. That probably is not good. Yeah, but you know what happened to me. Lord Clack. No, look, that guy crit me for 800. Lord Clack crit me, but they were hitting for roughly around the same. I think I was just, yeah, nothing special. I think they just, I went in there with a little bit low life. Okay, so then I was like, alright, let me think of... I basically went through, I wanted to have at least 2 of every class, of every race, so I could have a male and a female of each. After that, all systems open, so there are some races that I have 4 of. There are some that I only have 2 of. It's not balanced. So for instance, gnomes, there's just not enough iconic gnomes, unfortunately, that I felt differentiated enough. While there are some that, like, the problem with gnomes is also a lot of their most iconic people are like tinkers and engineers, and they don't really make a good fit on any class at all, because they don't even kind of like Gelbin Mechatork, the leader of the gnomes, is a high tinker. You could maybe call him a warrior if you wanted to, because he just has some physical kind of melee attacking. But you could call almost anyone a warrior. And then, if I make him a warrior, I'm going to take a warrior slot for Mechatork away from any of the other classes that actually have super awesome warriors. And then you get stuck in other categories like Cool Tyrann, where it's like, what the freak? Like, there's no Cool Tyrann. I don't know where. I'm gonna fight this guy, and I think he's maybe part of a different quest. But I don't know. I don't know where this dude's box is at. See, that's all it really was, is I didn't have enough. Yeah, see, his box wasn't here. Where the heck is his box? I totally did not... Well, there goes... What's her name? Well, there's an adamantite. So I don't know where Home Dude's box is at. I might have to look this up. It says... Little did I know that the cave was being fought over. Sneak out of Umberfen. It doesn't say anything about where it's actually at. Right. And the thing is listed like it's at the entrance to the cave. So I bet you I'm going to be coming back in here to kill Lord Plaque again. So one, I'm not done with the list, so I can't give you the whole list because I'm not done. Two, some of them are quite hard and they require a lot of research. Alright, last thing we did was... Oh, we are picking up another armor to the teeth. That's just a solid strength upgrade. I don't even have to look that up. Uh-oh. It's listing something over here. No, there it is. Yeah, two, some of them are very hard, like, with... Even if I don't care about going into spoilers... Really hard to find iconic Haranir and Earthen. And if you think about the Haranir or Earthen, because they're on each faction, I actually need 4 Haranir iconic heroes. 4 Earthen iconic heroes. Like, okay. And I have no experience. I haven't played them, I haven't read the stories. So I can't, you know, I can use Google, which now all Google is. You can call things AI, you can call it Google, whatever. All AI is a rapid surface level Google. That's all it is. You are thinking that it is anything other than that, then you're fooling yourself. It's a search engine. And you can use that search engine to quote unquote like write you a paper, but no, all you're getting it to do, all it's doing is generating prompts, generating sentences that are like Frankenstein amalgamations of other people's stuff. That's it. And because it feeds off of the internet, really at this point you are, the downside I think in the AI that I think that we are, why it's such quote unquote slop, is it feeds itself. It cannibalizes itself. So as more and more of what's out there in the world is just AI generated, then you're not even grabbing from the whole entirety. Like, I really, truly, I might be, this is totally off topic, but call me a doomer or whatever, or a boomer or whatever, but I really, truly think the AI bubble is going to pop soon. And I think people will realize that it is not anything more than just a sometimes useful, vaguely crappy Google. Like, other than that, like, if I have a question I don't care that much about, sure. Like, tell me John Bon Jovi's birthday. Okay. Then, sure, and even that, you will save me about 2 seconds. Because before, I could have just looked up John Bon Jovi Wikipedia, and then his birthday would have been the first thing listed on Wikipedia. Now I can just, like, say it into my phone, tell me John Bon Jovi's birthday, and it'll give it to me. So I'm saving, like, 3 seconds of my life to talk to a search engine the way I might talk to a know-it-all friend, as opposed to interfacing with it like it was a search engine, which actually does some damage because cognitively it then leads you to think that you're dealing with some sort of intelligence, and you're not. So things that all you need to do is rapidly quote-unquote search or be a calculator, which that's more or less massive. You can call it computation, but you're searching for answers among the finite numerical possible answers that, or whatever, they come from algorithms. So mass grunt work calculation and Google searching. I did, it was annoying, bro.
The cave is not far from Umbrafen, near the border with Nagrand. My things. They're all here.
I know, I'm awesome.
As promised, I'll let you pick one of the items for yourself. I don't have much to offer, but my people have always shared what little we have.
Thanks, bro. I appreciate this refuge armor. It is 5 points in armor. Ooh, I lose 2 strength. But I gain 2 crit and a bunch of stam. I'm gonna take it, but it is... I actually don't like having this on because I can't see my... Oh, it's the same thing, it's just a different color. Alrighty, so that was him. A damp, dark place.
I have many wares.
Anyway, my bad for going all boomer on you guys.
Well, friend of the Grummles.
It's kind of unrelated to what we were saying, but there it is. Okay, let's see. What should we do? Let's go with her.
What may the winds guide
Do
you.
Blessings of the Ancients.
You've earned the trust of the Cenarion expedition.
Okay.
It is time you spoke to the ancients allied with our cause, Ashian and Keleth, and asked for their blessing. Carrying the mark of an ancient will fill you with great power.
Oh.
These boons will become more powerful as your renown among us increases. Go and ask the ancients for their blessing.
Okay, Blessings of the Ancients. So that's cool. They're gonna... Sounds like they're gonna give me... some... buffs. And... yeah, this is a one-off. Blessings of the Ancients. And it sounds like these buffs are going to get better based on my reputation. Blessings of the Ancients. So maybe they will turn some... This guy. Here's the Ancient of Lore, Ashian.
Nature favors those willing to learn its secrets.
Not the voice I would have given that. Grant me your mark, Ashian. Okay, he gave me a Mark of Lore, increasing damage and healing done by spells and abilities by 1%. I went to him first in case they override each other, because the Lore one is going to be nothing for me. Here's Keleth.
Nature is a powerful force. Those who seek to subdue never succeed in doing so permanently.
Grant me your mark, Mighty Ancient. Okay, it did not. He gives me all primary stats by... 6 for 30 minutes. Cool.
Punches, lucky doos and rope.
May the winds. You've returned. Did you receive the ancients' blessings?
Yeah, so...
In your travels, you might have encountered some of the expedition's watchers. They do the majority of the field work, documenting the unique inhabitants of the marsh, collecting samples, and making contact with sentient species. The safety of the Watchers is paramount. Adventurer, we've had to recall the Watchers we sent to explore Fungar Cavern to the south because of marsh beast attacks. Warden Hammy believes that killing their leader, Lord Clack, will bring a swift end to the attacks.
Alright,
May
so...
the winds guide you.
So this was what I just said. Now we need to go down and kill Lord Clack. Exactly as I predicted. So you should obviously bundle these two together. Don't pick them up one by one like me. Safeguarding the Watchers. Okay. This is going to the bottom, killing Lord Clack, bippity boppity boo. Again, it gives you a terrible direction. So why it does it like that, but I'm gonna protect this little Sporelok. And I'm gonna try to not die this time.
I'm out of range.
Alright, buddy. Don't worry. Whoa, that was nice. Oh, because I guess if I crit now, it can be good. Another adamantite. We're starting to get that adamantite here again. I think that Fury is doing more damage now. Yeah, we'll take the adamantite. It's giving me... I can't believe my Draenei mining is only at 28. There's got to be some better... places to grind things from. He is fighting a little Sporelok. Alright, so what can I give you as a preliminary idea for my list here? Can we work with that? So I believe I have 4 humans on deck. So I would ideally like to then have 2 male and 2 female. So we will eventually need 3 humans. I also there's other arbitrary goals I set on myself. So for instance, 1 of each spec per class. Cool, right? It's fine. Then so if I have
travels, you might
Fury, if I have 1 Fury, I want on Horde, gotta have 1 on Alliance. Second, no duplication. So, yikes, that seems like the wrong way. Let's go down this way. I guess that kind of goes with 1 of each class. But also no duplication in the sense that there's no... no duplication of spec. So let's say I picked Slayer, Fury Warrior on 1 on Horde. My Fury Warrior will also not be a Slayer on Alliance. So no duplication of that. So every possible combination will be covered. I also set myself the arbitrary limit of do not make the same class, the same race twice in a row. Oh, there he is. So if I pick a Fury Warrior... Oh no, that is not good. Kind of what happened last time. Okay, we got out of it. Alright, let's go for it this time. Okay. Okay, we got it. Cool. Oh, there's ore back there. I guess I'll go back there. So if I make a human Fury Warrior, then I'm not going to make a human Arms Warrior kind of deal. Alright, so I think that's pretty much all the real... And then, like I said, I want at least 2 of every class, but sometimes more. It doesn't really have to be balanced. Okay. So that being said, I can kind of go off the cuff. Like, warrior is just one. It's easy for me to think about. I don't know why. I think it's maybe because it's where I thought it started my thought exercise. It's actually not at all the first one that I finished. But it has so many easy examples, too. I think that's a big part of it. So, so you have protection, and protection can be a colossus or a mountain thane. All right. Just keeping these in mind. All right. So then, fury warriors can be a mountain thane or a slayer, and arms warriors can be a slayer or a colossus. So it kind of like wraps around, you know, like these subspecs. There ends up being only 3 types of each. So that was another thing. Like, let's say I didn't want to have the same thing on that either. So if I could have a slayer fury warrior when I made my on Alliance, for instance, then when I got to my arms warrior was going to automatically be a colossus, because so basically by picking one, you almost chain reaction what all of the rest have to be. So I had to go into each one with a set one in my mind. What's the most important? Once I decided I had some cool ideas, what's the most important character that I have for this race? Like, so for instance, with Gen Greymane, with Worgen, I love Gen Greymane. I think he's one of my favorite characters in all of Warcraft lore. He looks cool, he plays cool. So I knew I wanted Gen Greymane. I also knew that even though Gen Greymane is canonically a warrior, that gun sword combo style is so central to who he is and so cool, and the really only way I would pull that off is by playing him as a outlaw rogue. So I knew from jump, Gen Greymane, I was going to be making an outlaw rogue based on Gen Greymane, and then I got to think, okay, outlaw rogue, well, you have 2 choices. You could be fate-bound, which is a sort of flip of the coin, right? Or you could be... Oh, jeez, what's the other outlaw rogue? It's not Dark... I think Darkstalker or Deathstalker is one of the 3 rogues. Trickster, I think, is the other one. So I had to choose, what did I want, what made more sense. Like, let's just look that up real quick. Outlaw rogue talents. I think it's Trickster. Yeah, Trickster. So then I looked through each one of these. I'm like, all right, what is Trickster like? What is that about? What makes more sense? This sort of flip of the coin, fate-bound, or
you have my gratitude,
Trickster.
hero, and that of the Watchers. They will be heartened to hear that they can continue their work to the south without fear of attack.
May the eternal sun shine.
All right, let's pick up this next quest.
I've always liked sorting and organizing things. I guess I take after my mother.
Okay, let's do Plants of
The
Zangarmarsh.
lakes of Zangarmarsh are slowly
have a
being
ton.
drained of their water. We don't quite know why. But we do know that many plant species are in danger of becoming extinct. As the expedition's cataloger, it is my job to track and identify these plants, so we can better understand what is happening to them. If you'd like to help, bring me unidentified plant parts. They can be picked right from the ground if you are an herbalist, And the indigenous creatures of the swamp, they also carry plant parts on them.
Alright, Plants of Zangarmarsh. I don't think this is a... This is, right off the bat, it's a repeatable quest. So, cool. We just have to do it one time. And we can. Plants of Zangarmarsh. Got it.
Did you find any plant parts?
I got a ton.
The decrease in native species is certainly a cause for concern. The increase in invasive species could be related to the recent disturbance in the ecosystem. I don't have enough information to make a conclusion yet.
Lorana jots down some notes on a journal as she goes through the plant part.
Take these, hero. They might be of some use to you. Bring me any other plant parts you find. I'll incorporate them into my statistics.
Oh, cool.
Ikean's been telling me stories about...
I'll be back to that in a minute. Yeah, so edible fern, you can eat that, I guess. Cool. I'll eat one of them while we sit here and look at the next power. Yeah, armor to the teeth. This is going to be Fury Warrior talents. Bada bing, bada boom. Like for this one, Mountain Thane is what specs, but I liked Slayer for this one. So we're going with the Slayer build. I just thought it sounded cooler with this particular character, but I did a lot more research now to make those decisions. What was the last thing we recently did? We picked up our meat cleaver. So now we want Cold Steel, Hot Blood. Bloodthirst crits generate extra rage and inflict gushing wounds that heal me and deal damage. That's good. So now this Bloodthirst is hitting even harder. That's good because it's really, like I mentioned before, quite weak.
Ikean's been telling me stories about what happened to him down in those caves, and I think it is just awful. You know, maybe we should do something to help out those poor Sporeloks. Ikean says that they live there in the Fungal Cavern, but that the marsh beasts have recently invaded. Why don't you go down there and see if you can clear some of those marsh beasts out? It is just to the southwest.
All right, so we've screwed that up. We should we should have done this. Should have done all three of these guys the same thing. Saving the Sporeloks should have been done at once. Also, I did not see the ability to do that as a repeatable. That one that we did. It's not, the Plants of Zangarmarsh is not popping up. Second time. All right, so we got to go. 10 lurkers, there's 10 dredgers. We're back in business with this. 20 guys, let's kill them. Yeah, so anyway, this project might seem convoluted, and I know the first thing that I got anytime I tried to bring this up to people in the chat channels was, heroes do not meet. They don't technically apply to... I know they don't. I understand that. But if you had to gun to your head for fun, or for like a Liam Neeson saving your daughter from death type of situation, if you had to, what would you put it on? That's what I'm saying. I know it doesn't work perfectly. I get that. I understand it. But there's some part of it that's fun to me. Just try to make these characters playable. Alright, so I picked 4 humans, but just because humans have so many iconic options. I definitely wanted to have a human warrior. There are a lot of great options for that. And I wanted a human mage. I feel like human mages they're some of the best mages. They make a great option of that. I also felt like human paladins, iconic. They have the most iconic paladins in all of World of Warcraft, so it's got to be a paladin on that one. And what was... I actually did pick a 4th one just because there are so many great human options. What was the 4th one that I picked for human? Oh, Death Knight. Because I feel like they have some of the best Death Knights. They're like probably a strong either first or second place for Death Knight options.
I'm out of range.
Now, what hurts me... So for Arthas... So for Death Knight, like, okay. So for Warrior, I was able to be a little bit more flexible because I feel like I had options, right? So I was able to look at the other Warrior classes that I picked, and the way that it all shaped out over time was, I believe I had a Dwarf Warrior, because we needed 3 of each. I had a Dwarf Warrior on the Alliance side. I had a Human Warrior, and oh geez, what was my other warrior race? I don't remember. You know, I tried to save some of the races too. It was not Gnome, I'll tell you that. Oh, it was Night Elf, because I really liked the idea of having a Maiev style. Because I also struggled with, okay, well, Maiev is, she's got some of all of it. She's definitely roguey, and you could make the argument to make her a rogue. But I think I had, first of all, Night Elf slots were limited. So even if I gave 4 Night Elf character slots, which I did end up doing, some were tied into Demon Hunter. I think I ended up just making 1 Night Elf Demon Hunter, and I left the other ones to be Void Elves, and I have not planned out how I'm going to do that yet, because I feel like you can kind of fudge the numbers a little bit with Night Elves, because Void Elves are, like, I could call it a Void Elf, but really, once you go Night Elf, once you go Demon Hunter, it's kind of consumed everything about who you are. So, if I have to fudge the numbers a little bit, we can. But I decided, I was like, well, because you could make the Warden, you could make her a warrior, you could make her a hunter, you could make her a... I mean, Demon Hunter just feels wrong. As far as having 2 Warglives, it would look really cool, but then having her be all demonic, unless there's a Maiev storyline that I'm forgetting, and that's very possible, and then Demon Hunter might be perfect. Demon Hunter Maiev? Okay, but those are my 3. So I went with Human, Dwarf, and Night Elf. Alright, so then I'm like, alright, of those 3, my flexibility with the Night Elves was less, and I really wanted to have a Warden. And I think I had, my options were tied up, so it came down to Maiev was gonna be a warrior. So then I'm like, alright, well I know I've got a Maiev. She's gotta be a Fury Warrior, because she's gotta be a dual wielder. And then I would be pretty open as to which kind she would be. Except that one of the Fury Warriors is a Mountain Thane. So I was like, oh man, a Mountain Thane where she's spinning around and shooting lightning. I was like, that does not feel like her at all. But as a Slayer, which is someone who hunts someone down and executes, well, that's perfect Maiev. That's what this guy is right here. So Maiev becoming a Slayer Fury Warrior on this other account, that's where I started. Remember I said everything else falls into place. Well, that means my Arms Warrior has to be Colossus. And then my Protection Warrior has to be Mountain Thane. Well, if I'm gonna go Mountain Thane, it's best to go with Dwarf on that. Now, had I gone Fury Mountain Thane, I would have picked someone like Kurdran and made it like a Wild Elf Mountain Thane, which would have been cool. But then that would have left me with... I didn't have that option. I was having to go protection. And so then I was like, I don't know. I don't love Kurdrin as a protection. And then I also looked at my character, my dwarf races, and I'm like, oh, I kind of need a female dwarf. Because I ended up making 3 dwarves, and I was like, oh, I think I was short on female. So I was like, okay, well, I could probably find a female dwarf hero, and if you just call a mountain thane, and you just kind of ignore the lightning a little bit, and just focus on the mountainy aspect of it, sure, pretty much any dwarf with a female dwarf with a shield would do, which is what I ended up doing. Again, this list is not perfect. If someone managed to pull off a better one, I would love it. I'm not too pot committed that I couldn't scrap some of these ideas, but I will be at some point. I'll be pot committed. So anyway, that meant for human, I decided I needed. Well, the mage is easy. We can go Jaina.
Those marsh beasts have no right to invade the home of the Sporeloks.
We gotta sing the sockets.
It would be better if these creatures would learn to live in harmony. But when that is not possible, we'll be here to take care of the situation. Here, please take one of these as thanks for your help.
Oh, it looks cool too. And I will be able to make some socket type gems. I just don't have it yet. I wonder if this little fire counts as a fire I could cook on. It does. Now, this quest that is called Plants of Zangarmarsh, it says it's repeatable. Oh, once you are honored. I see. So, as we are just at honored. Gotcha. So we can't turn it in. But we did it once. We were able to do it once. Thank goodness. We got under the bar. So that's cool. Actually, I should eat one of those. There we go.
I have many lucky doos. You like?
Yeah, I love, bro. I love. Well, now we'll sell those. There's no point to keep them anymore.
Good fortune
Cool.
to our friends.
All right, I think we've finished this little area. Now they wanted to send us down into Tarokar. Right there, but there are other areas. Now that I don't love because look at this. You could have maybe gone around and found some other things, but we didn't get any other good breadcrumbs out of here. Kind of weak. Oh, wait. No, that's her. That's her 2 dungeon ones. Alright, so we did fly around the map. So this is the... Unless there's one I missed. I don't think so, though. Alright, so... Yeah, there's the Deadmire. We did look at that. And Swamp Rat Post, which is the Horde version. But there is this area. So, when you were flying around, it would have been hard not to notice this little camp. So, I guess there's that. Because what else are we really supposed to do? Let's look at the neutrals. Yikes. Okay, if we try to count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. 20 is more tendrils. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 30. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So we should have 39. And we did 34. So we're 5 short. What are we missing? Okay, let's just scan. We just did that. Did that. Did that. Did that. Uh-huh. Yep. Yeah, we did familiar fungi. Yep, okay, cool. Yep. See, glowcap mushrooms. We might have screwed that one up. I think we did because of the reputation. You can, You got, so you have to, yeah. Okay, so there is a way to get this quest. Kill Sporegar spines, massacre the entire village, then grind your rep back up. Okay. So yeah. So there you go. So we have to remember that's one quest. Glowcap mushrooms, we got to go turn that in like the second. I think what did you have to be neutral? Yeah, I guess so. So that's one. I thought there was one on there. So we locked ourselves out of being able to turn that one in. So that's one quest. Identify plant parts. Do we have that? Is that one also? I think that's another one we screwed up. Lore Master repeatable. Yeah, I don't see that quest. We didn't do that one, did we? Yep. If you have to the quest becomes available after doing the first one that besides reputation. All right, so right off the bat, we got to come do these quests on Horde. So that's a second one, identifying plant parts. So that's 2. Leader of the Blood Skill, more glow caps. That's a third one. Boom, boom. We did that. Crusade Zangarmarsh, we did. Return to the marsh. Yeah, we got that one. Safeguarding the Watchers. Yep, we just did that. Saving the Sporeloks. Yep. Actual quest called Sporegar. That was the breadcrumb that sent us over there. Stealing back the mushrooms, right? You help her with those. Yep. The Cenarion expedition. The Count of the Oh, there you go. Okay. Cenarion expedition, yes. The Count of the Marshes. So, did I do that one? Maybe I did. No. Okay, so this is number 4 out of the 5 we're missing. Oh, you just kill Count Ungula. Gotcha. So we did actually see him, and I thought, like, oh, you'll get a quest to kill him. No, you just kill him for fun, and then turn that in. Alright, so we did screw up a little bit by missing a couple, but hey, that's why we do this, and this is why we run this on a couple characters. So when we run this on our Horde character, we will have to make sure to go very, very quickly. We need to go get those mushroom caps, turn those in, and then turn in more of them. That's right away at neutral. Okay, we gotta find Count Ungula. That's a Bog Lord. I don't know exactly where he comes from. Boom, boom. There's some adamantine. I know he's like a spore bat, though. I remember that. Okay, we got more herbs. Where does he appear? Along this, just to the north. On the other side of this little mountain ridge, right here. Marshfang Slicer. Raider Spore Bat. I mean, I might be wrong on his spot. Just going off the question mark spot. Count Ungula's mandible dropped by Count Ungula. He appears, yeah, just right here. Look at the thing. Sort to the southwest there. I mean, we did see him. He's not a rare either, so you would think he pops up pretty quick. There's more of those. That sucks that you... There he is. That we locked ourselves out of those quests. Okay. So be careful. You're trying to be a completionist. Crazy that someone's like, yeah, now you're stuck. You gotta...
This bloody mandible comes from an unbelievably large creature. The nether ray that it belonged to has to be the largest ever seen in Zangarmarsh. Judging from the condition of the mandible, the Count must have abandoned a diet of carrion in favor of living flesh. Surely the Cenarion expedition would be interested in such a specimen. Watcher Lizal has a small camp to the west of Quag Ridge.
Okay.
I am.
Oh, pay no mind.
The Watcher blinks several times in surprise.
Where did you get that?
Illusion be with you.
Are you sure that is real? I mean, I knew there was large wildlife in the marsh, but there are giant creatures, and then there are giant bugs. Come to think of it, the Sporelings did mention a story about a fearsome nether ray that used to terrorize them before the Bogward incursion.
Cool.
The stories are true. Oh dear, I'd better take that for safekeeping.
Alright.
The expedition will want to know about this.
So that's the Count of the Marshes. So that brings us to 35. We already counted 3 that we can't get yet. That's 38. So there's one more we're missing. The Dying Balance, I think we did. Again, I could alphabetize it, but I hope we don't have that many. The Sporelings Plight. The Umbrafen Tribe. Uncatalogued Species. Dag nabbit. Where do you get those? Oh. So when you open these bags that she gives you from that repeatable sack, there is a chance that it opens up. One of them will be an uncatalogued species that you give to her. Okay, so that's annoying. So there are 2 quests from her that we have to do, and 2 quests. And that one they're saying just don't do anything at all. Go out there and get these freaking these quests and just keep turning them into her until you can't no mo. So I'm tempted to actually want to do that right now for completionist's sake. Not the, I mean, whatever. Okay, let's just work. We'll work a little bit, just a pinch on the Blood Elf side, because I don't want to forget this when we've just done this research. How are we doing on time? I think we're good. Yeah, so we've got about 45 minutes. So what we're going to do is we're going to start with this, whatever it's called, the plants or whatever. Plants of Zangarmarsh. Okay, so if we start there, that's repeatable. There's another one. What's the other one called? Identify plant parts. That's what it's called. Okay, identify plant parts. Clearly not enough pins, so we're gonna go hop over to Gleehab. He's already in this base. Save any catalog species that you get. And then what's the difference between unidentified plant parts and plants of Zangarmarsh? They're the same freaking thing. Maybe Plants of Zangarmarsh is not really repeatable. Alright, now meanwhile, people talk about what's the best way to get it. You hand these in 10 at a time. It seems that you can't hand these in from the pouches you get. Save any end catalog. You might... Actually, it's better to get... Before you hand in all these plant parts, blah, 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 blah. I still haven't identified those plant parts. Okay, define average. If you've ever done Zangarmarsh, Mudfen Frenzies. Okay. Oh, look at this. Farm them on your alt and then send them in. That's smart. Okay, so where are the Mudfen Frenzies? Let's look that up. Mudfen Frenzies. I want to look it up on retail, though. So they're found in this regular lake in the center. So let's go out there. Let's see what we can do. First of all, does my girl over here... No, we're starting at neutral. Crap, I really shouldn't have given any reputation to these people. So she gives you...
The lakes of Zangarmarsh are slowly being drained of their water. We don't quite know why. But we do know that many plant species are in danger.
Alright. And then we're going to have to quickly go for the Sporegar thing, too. It's okay.
So we can better understand.
Well, the Sporegar one I'm actually not as worried about. It's not as stressful.
Bring the unidentified plant.
I do kind of want to do it.
They can be picked right from the ground if you are an herbalist. And the indigenous
if I'm an herbalist. I read this neat little miniature post the other day that was like about why like proper British drops the H on let's see, on certain words and what's the story behind that, and you know who's saying it wrong, yada yada yada, and they're like, no, it is. It's according to this little post I read. It is.
Attack that target.
Yeah, well, maybe they fixed the drop rate thing because we just killed 8 of them and we didn't even get one. So, yeah, maybe they have changed it to be like, no, this is too easy of a farming spot. Or I just had some bad luck. Okay, we got an unidentified plant part. But maybe the reputation just went? I don't know. We do need frickin' 4 of them. Okay, that's 4. How many? I think we need 5? Something? I mean, this is actually, if this is the true spot, they give you low XP, and we need 10. We did not gain the... Okay, 2 more. When we turned in that first thing, we didn't get the unidentified plant satchel or whatever. Maybe we will get lucky and it will just bust out right off the bat. No, not that time. This is pretty nice though in terms of they were right. This is a good spot to farm them. As the man or person said, they're like a quarter of a mob. So they're very weak. So yeah, why not? Okay, so we are up to 8. We need stacks of 10. That is kind of annoying, not gonna lie. Okay, so that's 2. So we now have 1 stack we can go turn in. And also our reputation is not neutral. We did turn in some quests, so we're gonna have to deal with that. We're hoping for... This is dumb. Like, I don't know that I ever even... I mean, it's good, though, that we're doing this. Because I 100%... Like, this is the benefit of running 2 accounts or whatever, so you live and learn.
The lakes of Zangarmarsh are slowly being drained of water. We don't quite
So we turned the first one in, and now you can do the identified plant parts. So plants of Zangarmarsh is not repeatable. That is a fat lie. It's the identified plant parts that's repeatable. We did not gain the thing we want. It's okay, because we were going to have to do at least 1 more anyway. So now we are turning these in as much as humanly possible. And that's our life for a little bit. Then we're going to go over to Sporegar. And, what do you have to get? At least neutral with them, I guess? I don't freaking know. No, I don't want those. Yeah, I want these little babies. Breed plant parts. I will take it. Also, they do always seem to kind of spawn in little packs, which is nice. So we're up to 4. Plus they don't, it's true, they don't, well, they're not giving me a bunch of rep, which that part's whatever. XP, I mean, that part I don't care about. Not in that time. But yeah, they don't give any kind of rep or anything like that. Should probably, you do not mount faster. Like, I don't think you go faster underwater. There we go. I wanted that little bad boy out of there. Dang it. Okay, we'll go to the surface for a mow as we circle around. But yeah, these, I guess this is probably right. This is probably a better set. We're grinding out. Oh, that guy's evading. Crap, none. Okay, maybe I got too high up in the water. Yeah, they're evading down there. Bummer. Okay, so hopefully we get lucky, and after our second turn-in, right now we're at 5. After our second turn-in, we are just perfect. I don't know what the overall drop rate of this is. That's some research we could do if I start to get frustrated. The drop rate on this, although drop rate is, I guess, a little probably generous to call it. 2 more, we're up to 7. Yeah, this is pretty nice. These are very easy to kill, especially for our non-DPS character here. This is good. Yeah, this is just a poop. Poop on a stick. So we have not done anything new yet. We are just hoping to gain all the quests we need, and then we'll come back. We are going to finish out. That's 4. Okay. Alright, let's go turn in another batch. This is going to be the... I thought that seemed weird, that thing didn't seem repeatable. I'm glad we could turn it in. We could have probably done this. Obviously, we had more. I had 40-something. We could have sent right over to this character or whatever, but I did sell them. I mean, I probably could have tried to buy back. It's just bad planning on my part. This is what happens when you go in blind. But yes, for the ultimate completionist, I hope you watch my video first and you learn my lesson, because if you're trying to do this all on just one character and you already got your rep up, you're cooked. You're not going to be able to do it unless you come in and make a second character. So now, luckily, we have so many characters. I would just, if we fail on this one, we're just going to bring somebody else
I
over.
can still use some raw plant parts.
Okay, cool.
With the lakes losing their
We are now friendly with Cenarion, but that's okay. We can go up to honor.
Species is on the rise. I need
Dag,
more
bro.
numbers to back up my theory, however. Excellent. Keep bringing me more plant parts if you find any.
This quest is repeatable up to honored reputation.
Many wares.
See, they tell you right then. I don't need 100 stocks. I'm good. Okay.
Many farewell.
Back more. We're gonna get it's 250 reps, so 6,000. You could hypothetically do 24 turn-ins. If you... So you have 24 chances. Alright, so let's research that drop rate. It can sometimes... It gives you an item called a package of unidentified plants. And it contains uncatalogued species at a 5% drop chance. So there you go. 5% chance. Good luck to us. Nuns. You dirty rat. You killed my brother. How we doing on time? Let's set the roll. Okay, we got 30 minutes at 7:55, so we got till around 8:30. You dirty rat. You killed my brother. And after this, we're gonna go to Telrador. There we go. 3 plates. I think we had one extra. No, we did not. So we're sitting at 4. Really? Thought we had 11. Yes. Adamantite for him down there. Yeah, I don't know what the deal is, why there was no breadcrumb for that. I really don't want to fight those guys for the adamantite. But I also don't want to say no to adamantite. Know what I mean? It's not going to kill us to fight anything. It doesn't hurt us as long as it's not going to give us rep.
I need to get closer.
We're going to be a bad sitch if... And like they also said, we might get lucky and have... Oh gosh, why can't I think? Oh no, I did not want to do that. I made me heal myself. We might get lucky and have what? He said. I don't know.
I need to target something first.
I know. It's cool. I'll take these. Yeah, I don't know. This is a bumsky wumpsky. But yeah, as I mentioned, it's not the end of the world. We are gonna make it happen. No, it's 4. 8, that's 8. Okay. I mean, we're doing fine. We're gonna get there. 1, okay, I was gonna say. Alright, buddy boys. Got him. Dang it, why would I do that to myself? Boom, 2 more. Okay. Let's go for it. Fist weapon, huh? Alright, today, I'm glad I'm getting in here and busting these episodes out today because early, or not really that early, but earlier than I have been because I have a early day tomorrow. So basically there's this big giant get together. It's like the State of the Union is that might even be literally what it's called, but you know, at the county level, for our little political thing here. But basically once a year every single person gets together.
I could still use some more plant parts. With the lakes losing their water.
Fingers crossed, fingers crossed. Come on.
The number of invasive species is on the rise. I need more numbers to back up my theory, however. Excellent. Keep bringing more plants if you find any.
This quest is repeatable up to honored reputation.
So every single person that works at every single branch all gets together to hear the head honcho that runs the whole county give this big hoorah talk, and they will talk about, you know, what was the metrics that we did good at for the year, what's our mission for this year, blah 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 blah. So it is, you know, I'm trying to not just be like ornery for the sake of being ornery, you know? I think you have, easy to have that mentality when you've been in the game a long time. Like, okay, come on. I've seen so many people do this. I do like our current, like, fearless leader. You know, I have no problems with the way she runs the organization, or the way she runs the county. I do think she has a lot of experience and she's qualified. I do think she's a local. Like, I think she has things that matter. I think I trust her politics, even though you're supposed to be sort of apolitical when you are running county. And you're supposed to kind of serve everybody. I think she's more aligned, but she doesn't wear that on her sleeve or whatever. She's professional, and I think that's kind of how you have to run it. She's a politician, so you have to play the game a certain way to be a politician. That just comes with the name. That just comes with the whole thing. And I don't know that I could do that. I think there's too much. You've got to do a lot of appeasing, and I just don't know if I could do it. If you want to be effective, you just got to compromise on so much, and you have to do, in the name of quote unquote like practicality, you don't get to be radical, you know. And I'm not saying that that's the wrong way to run things. I just don't know if I could do it. I think it's easier to sit back and be idealistic and not, you know, wonder. When there's so many things that are outside of your control, when you're dealing with the fact that not everybody that works for you agrees with you, just stuff like that. I think ooh, I don't have any shoulder pads, and I just got some. Can I play?
Damn, son, where'd you
Oh,
find
yeah,
this?
boy. You have your little shoulders covered now. Anyway, that's a major tangent. Point of the matter is, once a year you come in and you do this big hoorah speech. And the place that I now work, as I mentioned before, they're like the flagship. They're the big deal of the county. It is... So everybody always goes there. They're the biggest facility now that, and so you take a facility that's already huge, that already has 3,000 to 4,000 people at any given time working on it, and you now bring in every single person from across the county. Now, the 3,000 to 4,000, that's people, not all of those are like government employees. So even government employees, though, like let's maybe say there's 500 operating, and then there's another 25 people to 2,500 people that might be there. So the 500 that are there, but then you bring in every single, you basically throw in another, I don't know, a few thousand people. So you cram a few thousand people onto a facility that normally operates with about 3,000 tops. And
the number of invasive species
no,
I need more numbers to back up my theory, however.
Stop screwing me over.
Keep bringing me more plant parts like you find.
This quest is repeatable.
I know it is. I know. Well, this is our life until we get it. Because you know what's happening? If we don't get it on this character, we're bringing GleeCon over and she's trying next. And, yeah. We could, I guess, go to the auction house and buy a bunch if we really wanted to. I don't want to. If we did. She at least won't have to come here into the water. She could just do whatever she wants because everything dies with one hit for her. So anyway, the point of all that side story is, every year you normally go there, and they do like a big breakfast. They give everybody a breakfast. Oh, this guy actually came to fight. That wasn't my bad. And like I said, I've been doing this for a long time. So it used to be, you know, you come in and you hear the rah-rah speech, and they'll play some videos and play some music and give some prizes out and blah blah blah. And you go to this facility where it's the biggest facility on campus, so everybody that works for them, they get all into it. There's a marching band that comes. They will be loud and obnoxious and blowing horns, the people that work at this, because they're very proud, and they're sort of like the flagship of the city, the county. And they might not always be the highest performing because they're not like a part of a, you know, they're not a bougie zip code. But they are the biggest, and they matter the most. The county lives and dies by how this city does. It is my city. So I have always, I like it. I've always had a special place. It's never been that obnoxious to me. What is obnoxious is that it starts pretty early, and you got to go someplace else, and then after you do a mandatory breakfast, usually with a bunch of people you don't know, maybe you go there with some friends or whatever, it depends on the year for me, then you have to listen to a 2+ hour speech every year, and after you've been sitting through, this is one of the most meeting heavy times of year. So I've already just spent the past 2 days doing 6+ hours of meetings, and now I'm gonna go sit, and I'm, at least in those meetings, like, you have a chance of being called on, you might be speaking, like, it's people you know. This is a massive, thousands of people watching a 2-hour long speech. It's rough. I'm gonna tell you right now, it is rough. It is not fun. And I am not gonna lie, I usually do not, I often do not take this day seriously, so I will stay up late gaming or something the night before, and I will come in, not my best self, not feeling good, and it's so big that, and I have been slowly inching, like I used to get there at the very beginning when the breakfast first opened, and you can get some parking, and over the years, like, I gotta park blocks away and take the shuttle in. Like, there's so many people that you have to be shuttled in from blocks away.
I could still use some more.
Come on.
With the lakes losing their water, I've a feeling that
You so-and-so!
is on the rise.
You freaking so-and-so!
To back up my theory, however. Excellent. Keep bringing me.
But now I'm part of this place, so one.
This quest is repeatable up to honored reputation.
Not to mention, when it's all done, you then have to go to like a bunch of like other meetings and trainings. So it's literally like the worst day of the year. So you go in and sit hostage for hours, and then you have to go through hours of trainings and other meetings. It's literally an entire day of trainings. And meetings. I freaking absolutely hate it with every part of my heart and soul. And I'm kind of stuck. Like, part of me is like, well, I could hide out and I could do some work, like in my office, but the data packages that I need are finishing tomorrow. Like tonight, they'll probably be wrapping them up. In the middle of the day, like while we're in the middle of all these meetings, and by the time the systems sync up and everything, it's not going to be until like the middle of the night when I can actually work it. So I can't even, I'm like hostage.
Out of range.
And I'm at this new place that is the Rah Rah place now, so they are like, they want you front and center, cartwheeling and song and dancing, and I mean, it'll be like 8 in the morning, and they'll be blasting like music like it's a club, like you're at the club. So you are sober, tired, possibly hungover, and getting yourself ready for 8 straight hours of meetings, and then they will put on like hardcore dance club music with strobe lights and a disco ball and expect you to like get up and dance in your seat. And I am not a morning person. It's not me. And the worst of all, I used to be able to sneak in and take the shuttle or just like walk a couple blocks or whatever. Like, I don't want to go eat their breakfast. I don't want to come in a couple hours early so that I can do like community breakfast. I don't need that. Like, I'll just drink my coffee. So I'm just a big fat humbug about the whole thing.
I can't attack that target.
You gave me one freaking identified plan. So I asked my boss, my supervisor, like this week, I'm like, so, you know, what's the secret? You guys all, like, where's the secret parking at? Where's the secret? How do you minimize the pain of this? Because it's pretty painful. And she's like, oh, there is no secret. It's 1,000 times worse for us. The secret is you just get here hours early and you go work in your office. So you don't even have to fight traffic or anything like that. You just go over when it's time. So that's what I'll be doing. So I'll be going into work a couple hours early tomorrow to then sit in my office and work when I have no real work to do. So that I can then do 8 hours of meetings. But, gainfully employed, I'm not. There are a lot of people that have it worse, you know? It's hot as hell out right now. I'm not going to stand up on a roof like I did when I was in college and do roofing. I'm not worried about my paycheck. You know, the salary's coming one way or another. It's all good. I really have, you know, I have started a new job this week, and it is, it has been delightful. Like, this kind of, when I was in like this, because I'm sort of like this middle management role, right? They call it like leadership, but you know, anybody that's done any kind of government or any kind of corporate or anything like that, you we all know who the real leaders are. So it's a morale thing. This is the first time that I have, like, this leadership team, because the company is so big, they are real. And like, I was telling my wife, I was like, can you imagine going into like the secondary voluntary group where you are with like 15 or 20 people that are there because they want the job to run better, not because of financial compensation or like rewards or anything like that. Like,
I have a feeling the number of
they just truly want things to be better. They want the company to run better. They want the organization to run better. And my wife's like, absolutely, like that would never happen. And I was like, yeah, but imagine, because you know, she works in the ER. She's a nurse. I was like, but imagine, I think it's a size thing. I was like, imagine if your ER was 500 nurses. Could you find 15 that might be like, we're going to get this place running really well, and I'll come into an extra meeting once a month or whatever to do that. And then I think that's kind of what it is. I think the numbers game is so much bigger here. I'm used to being one of 2 or 3 that have that approach to the job, and then to just go in and see like 20 people that all approached the job that way, and then to have like at the end of it, the boss, at the end of today's meeting, the boss was like, okay, now I want everybody to stop and tell me, like, I want them to, like, I want us to go around the room and everybody say, what's your number one struggle this week? What has been the hardest thing? And what do you need help with? And so, okay, that's fine. Like, that's not out of this world to say. And so then people started doing it. And some people were like, you know, my struggles are small. I'm here. Or some people have said, like, this is a down week for me. Like, I am the opposite. I am here to help anyone that... And then, as people are, like, saying, like, you know, because then some people are like, man, I really am swamped and I just need hands to do the physical labor of X, Y, and Z. And then to watch, like, other people rally and be like, hey, well, my team, we got a couple days light work. We're on it. We're coming. We'll be there tomorrow. And you put us to work. Like, it's how government should work. And this really is like a shot in the arm. Like, we are all here to make our county, our city, our society better. And I am going to blow this freaking game up. We're not getting this thing.
This quest is repeatable up to honored reputation.
Let me change my reputation because we're going to be at honored soon. Let me go ahead and put rep tracker on here. Okay, we're not... I guess it's not that bad. When this bar gets full, we're cooked. So we are screwed a little bit right now. We can run it maybe once or twice more. So that was really cool. Also, somehow I got... So... Over, you know, I've talked on this show about how in a previous life, before, you know, when I was a bright-eyed, bushy-tailed kid, what I wanted to do was be a translator. I thought that would be the coolest job in the world. So when I first went to college, I didn't know what I was going to do exactly. Like, I went in as, like, a psychology major, but really quickly I was like, I want to do maybe, like, a foreign language as my major. So... with particular emphasis on, I just took languages. So I took 5 years of Arabic, I took a couple years of Mandarin, and I studied my butt off, and I lived in a part of town, and I had taken, like, from 7th grade through 11th grade, I took Spanish every... I could have sworn I just saw that freaking that giant walker guy. And then when I lived at the apartment, I lived with people that were like a bunch of like Mexican immigrants, so I really got a chance to practice. And then I had some good buddies that were Mexican, and so I got a chance to really practice on that. So I was really focusing on languages a lot, but you know, things changed, life changed or whatever. And a few years back, they put me kind of over a department where it has some Title IX funding and stuff like that. Like, one of the things that covers is making sure that as a government, you are helping people that don't speak English. And the vast majority of that, we have lots and lots of Russian and Ukrainian speaking clientele where I live, but the vast majority of that is Spanish-speaking people, and that's probably true just about every place in the United States. Most immigrants or non-English speakers that you get, they're going to be Spanish speakers. So I did that for a year, and I was like, oh, I want to be able to work. I have a lot of meetings with people that speak Spanish only. So rather than leaning on that, and I used to be serviceable. So let me lean into that a little bit, and
I need to get
start practicing like Duolingoing it up. And then my second year over that department, my #1 assistant, who is great, love her to death. She is also a native. She's South American. I think she's Colombian. She would be there to kind of translate. She was my safety net. So even if I could follow along in a meeting, or I would try, I could always look to her and like just give her a look, and she could nod her head that I was on the right track. She was my Spanish safety net, and she ended up having some serious surgery in our second year working together, and she ended up missing like 8 months of work or something like that. So during that time I was like, oh man, like I am cooked, and now there's no one. Like I can call a service. That is so lame and impersonal, and it's just so much worse. So I was really like, oh, I gotta get good. And so for the past 3 years, I've been focusing on doing that, practicing that Duolingo, getting as good as I can. I practice every day. I have a 1,300 day streak or something like that. So, I don't know, somewhere in that ballpark, somewhere over 3 years. And I work on it, but also I have the opportunity. More than that, like Duolingo is all fine, but people that complain and whine and moan about Duolingo, there's no language thing on the planet that's going to get you there if you're not consuming, if you're not having an opportunity to practice with real other human beings. It's just not going to happen. You could listen to tapes and you could listen to shows, and all those things really do help a lot, and you can do Duolingo, but you're going to get, you need to be able to practice, and that was what was the game changer. I was now in an opportunity where every single day I was holding and having meetings without translators. And sure, sometimes, you know, I get laughed out of the room, and if there was someone that was fluent, they would take over. If they were better than me, they might take over.
I could still use some more plant parts.
But my Spanish got a lot better, to the point where, you know, after I had been for like a year, again, failed, did not get it.
Excellent.
Sucks.
Keep bringing me more plant parts if you find any.
So
This
after
quest is repeatable
a
up to
year
honored
or so
reputation.
of doing that, I was like, look, I've been called down to be the translator. If the normal translator is not on hand, I have run meetings completely in Spanish. Like, I was like, I think it's fine to put on my resume that I'm fluent in Spanish. And who even cares, you know? I was like, there's so many people that are fluent in Spanish, but I was like, I'm just gonna start putting it, you know? Because what even is fluent? And if you don't, I mean, there is an actual definition of being fluent. But like the people that don't speak at all, they're not gonna know. They're gonna hear you have a conversation, and I feel comfortable enough. So I felt like if you could bring me someone that doesn't speak English, and I can have a conversation with them, and I can help them get their government services. I'm gonna respond to this person. I like to respond at least if they give you a message. I like to reward good behavior. Anyway, we did this little meeting thing, and I was like, they did like a get to know you kind of thing. Like, hey, we want everybody to go around the room, and I want, you know, everyone to tell something nobody knows of, you know, something that no one would know about you just from like reading your bio or like reading your resume or whatever. Like, tell us something. So I was like, okay, well, and I was like one of the last people to go, and I felt like a lot of people had used similar ones that I wanted to use, so I was like, I guess I'll just mention that, like, you know, I studied Arabic and Mandarin, because that's a, you know, that's rare. That's kind of neat. People are usually like, oh, really? Even though all I could do is, like, cuss you out and, say very basics. Even though I studied Arabic for 5 years, I lose it. You don't use it. I don't practice it anymore. So I mean, I bet you I could pick it up fast if you gave me some total immersion.
It's too far.
Again, life or death situation. You put me in a situation where I have to use it, or like if I had tons of people that spoke Arabic and I had to, and my translator is gone, and I'm going to spend the next year of my life working with citizens that speak Arabic and I can't. I'm going to practice, and I'm going to look like that will become the top of my radar, and I can probably pick it up. You know, I can still read and write in Arabic and stuff like that. Like, I have a foundation. So anyway, then when I said that, one of my bosses, I don't know if she got this from my resume or what, but there was one thing, one of the days when I came in and I was working over the summer, there was one person that came in and they were asking for some help. And I just happened to be the person that was nearby helping them.
I'm out of range.
And I was like, when this person came up, they were asking for whatever, and I could tell that English wasn't their first language. They had an accent. So a lot of the times what I do in that situation, if they're kind of having a halted English, is I will switch over to Spanish, and I will ask in Spanish, do you prefer if we talk in Spanish, or is English okay? And that gives them the opportunity to be like, they can tell very quickly from my accent who's better in this situation. Because I'm solid, but I am not, like, amazing. So they can tell, who's better, and then, or maybe they just would rather speak. And I would say 75% of the time, if not more, they will be like, oh, yeah, I would much rather, probably more than 75%, maybe like 80, 90%. They'll be like, yeah, I would like to, yeah, let's talk in Spanish instead. And then we'll just go from there in Spanish. So I did have one person that I was working with for maybe like 20 minutes. And so it's possible somebody overheard me. But when I said that, she's like, oh yeah, and you're fluent in Spanish. I was like, yeah. And then today we were having this meeting, we were all kind of talking about this upcoming big event that we're having, that like a community event that's coming up. Son of a gosh, forsake it. Alright, we're over time. Alright, we're calling it quits on this one. Anyway, long story short on that one, they threw in, they're like, hey, you know what? We really need some extra translators on hand, blah, 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 blah. We're always short on translators the day of the event. And she's like, Gleekon can do it. They don't call me Gleekon at work. They call me by my name. Like, yeah, he can do it. So, of course, I'm going to say yes to that, and I have no problem translating and helping people out. But, so, I'll be doing that one day this week, full day translation duties. All right, everybody, we're going to be back to frickin' packages of identified plants tomorrow. We have roughly 5 more. We'll call it 5 more. 4K plus change. So 17 more chances to get this. That should be more than enough to get that thing, but it is what it is. Thanks everyone so much for watching, listening, and tuning in, and listening to me navel gaze and talk about myself. Thanks guys, you are the best little buddies anyone could have. See you guys on the next one. This one's in the pipe, 5x5.